Laura Trevelyan, a former distinguished BBC News anchor with a 30-year career in journalism, has made a profound decision that goes beyond her professional life. Her journey began when she was covering the aftermath of the tragic murder of George Floyd in 2020. It was during this time that she had a momentous realization about her family's historical involvement in one of the darkest eras of human history, the slave trade. Her aristocratic ancestors had a dark history, owning more than 1,000 slaves on the Caribbean island of Grenada during the 18th and 19th centuries. This revelation sparked a personal and professional transformation. Laura reflected not only as a journalist but also as an individual, pondering the legacy of slavery and its impact on today's society. She asked a poignant question: if the legacy of slavery in the United States manifests as police brutality towards black men, what would the situation be in Grenada? In 1807, Britain abolished the transatlantic slave trade, though slavery itself endured until 1833. Slave owners like the Trevelyans negotiated compensation for their property. In 1834, Laura's family received a sum equivalent to $3.6 million in today's currency. This was a historical injustice that could not be ignored. Discovering her family's deep connection to the slave trade was a revelation that came relatively late. In 2016, a list of families who received compensation for their involvement in the slave trade was published by the University College London. It was then that Laura, along with her relatives, was confronted with the uncomfortable truth about their own history. Faced with this uncomfortable knowledge, she initially buried herself in her work, avoiding a direct confrontation with the issue. However, George Floyd's tragic death became a turning point. Laura made a pivotal decision to report on her family's past and the painful legacy of slavery. Her employer, the BBC, challenged her to ask a fundamental question. Should she personally contribute to reparations for the historical wrongs of her family? It was a difficult path to take, but it was a path she felt compelled to walk. In 2022, Laura and approximately 50 family members engaged in a historic Zoom town hall meeting with Sir Hilary Beckles, Vice-Chancellor of the University of the West Indies and Chair of the Caribbean Region's Reparation Organization. His powerful words about the importance and significance of an apology resonated with her. This led to a remarkable event in February 2023 when Laura, along with 7 family members, traveled to the Caribbean for a ceremony. They publicly signed a letter of apology, apologizing for the actions of their ancestors in holding people in slavery. They recognized the enduring impact of slavery on the descendants of those enslaved and repudiated their ancestors' involvement in it. They also urged the British government to enter into meaningful negotiations with Caribbean governments for reparations. Confronting descendants of slaves in the Caribbean was undoubtedly a challenging and emotional experience. Laura faced difficult questions and skepticism from some, especially regarding the magnitude of her donation compared to her family's historical profits from slavery. She encountered schoolgirls who eloquently spoke about the legacies of slavery, from brutality to colorism and sexual violence. In her ongoing commitment to the cause, Laura and her colleagues from Heirs of Slavery will host a conference in London for families with ties to slavery who wish to contribute to the reparations campaign. Over 125 families from around the world have already reached out, including those from the UK, Australia, New Zealand, and the US. Laura's journey is a testament to the importance of acknowledgement and repair. It has reignited the discussion of reparations on the global stage, with organizations like CARICOM calling on governments to pay what they estimate to be $33 trillion in reparations. Her efforts have created momentum and exemplified the possibility of making amends for the sins of our ancestors. This movement has even prompted King Charles, before he ascended to the throne, to express profound sorrow over the enduring impact of slavery. He will be visiting Kenya to deepen his understanding of colonialism and support research into the historical links between slavery and the British royal family. The royal family has taken this issue seriously, and it is hoped that these conversations will lead to meaningful change. Laura's story demonstrates that acknowledgement, apology, and reparations can be powerful tools in addressing the historical wrongs of slavery. And it serves as an example for governments and institutions to engage in discussions about this painful history.